Training typically starts with the fundamental thought process that the person does not have a particular skill or technology or a knowledge, and a trainer is an expert in that. So the trainer would come and train the person in a skill or a knowledge, through a intervention which could be, training in the class, then tests and assignments, and so on and so forth, right? That's typically the training was, and there is a lot of knowledge and experience that gets imparted as part of the training, right? So there is a lot of information flow from trainer to trainee, right? That's the trainer-trainee relationship. And when you move from trainer to mentor, the mentor is a person who has been there, done that in his life, in a particular role, in a particular field. And mentor is not coming from the space of trainer where he's giving him knowledge, but he's also sharing his experience and he's guiding the person through the path that he is traveling, right? So training is typically a smaller intervention, a particular topic, trainer comes, trains, and goes away. Mentor-mentee relationship is usually long in nature. And what mentor does is it kind of does the hand-holding of a person while the person is doing what they're supposed to do, right? So that's the mentor-mentee relationship. Consulting is typically a person who is an expert. He is not interested in guiding the person to solve the problem, but the consultant comes from the expert and says, this is your problem, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options as an expert opinion that I am going to provide you. And I'll also tell you what are the pros and cons of each of the options. Right? Based on where you are, you can pick and choose and implement whatever you do. Right? So top companies like KPMG, PwC, McKinsey, right? They come to the organizations, they understand what the organization is going through. Based on their experience analysis, they will provide solutions to the organization. They'll probably come up with one approach and say, okay, from McKinsey's perspective, this is what you should do, right? McKinsey will probably not provide 2-3 options, but consultants typically would provide 2-3 options. So there is a lot of information flow if you look at it. In trainer, in mentoring, and in consulting, there is a lot of information flow that is happening from the, and I'm going to use the person who is guiding to the person who is guided. Right? There's a lot of information and knowledge flow that is happening. Coaching is also comes from the perspective of helping the person, but coaching comes from the perspective to develop the person, which means that the objective of a coach is not to solve the problem for a person, but the objective of a coaching is to develop the person in such a manner so that the person is able to solve their own problems. Now, why coaching is becoming so prevalent nowadays is because people, especially at the senior level, they're not looking for a problem solving. They're not looking for telling what needs to be done, but they are trying to figure out for themselves how to solve this problem for myself. And when they develop the capacity to solve their own problems, they develop the capability to solve not only one problem, but 10 other problems. Right? So while the trainer will come and provide training on one skill, consultant will provide a problem for one solution, mentor will guide on a particular path, coaching is more intrinsic in nature and a developmental in approach. Right? That's how these 4 are different. Another big difference between these 3 and the one coaching is that in the case of training, consulting, mentoring, the fundamental assumption is that the person who is being trained or mentored or consulted doesn't know how to solve the problem, and he is incapable of solving their own problems. While in coaching, the foundational belief is that everybody has maximum potential and they have the capability to solve their own problems. problems. The job of a coach is to, kind of wipe the dust off the windshield so that the driver is able to look forward. So there is a dust which is sitting inside the person. There are some interferences, assumptions, perceptions, beliefs, which is blocking them in moving forward. What coach does is help them look at all of them and decide which to remove, which not to remove, based on where they are, and then see how to solve their problems. That's the fundamental difference between the coaching and all the other three.